Group 1. My name is Leticia Urrutia.
I'm Minasyan.
And I'm Stephanie DeNicola.
And this is our Stock-Trak project.
So none of us had prior experience investing in the market. The proposed outcome of this challenge was to gain knowledge about investing and trading on the stock market, since many of us had no prior experience. Our task in this project was to manage a total of $100,000 portfolio while playing a role as money managers.
We were also given the opportunity to borrow an additional $100,000 if our team decided it was needed. Therefore, we were managing a total of $200,000. There was a limit of 200 transactions that we could not exceed by the end of this challenge. The challenge began February 12th and ended April 13th of 2018. With this portfolio, we were instructed to invest in our choice of stocks, mutual funds, ETFs or exchange trade funds, and bonds.
Since none of us had prior knowledge in investing in the market, Professor Shahrokhi provided us with resources necessary to do the research and gain a broader understanding of the companies that we were choosing to invest in. At the end of the challenge, we were instructed to create an evaluation of our portfolio, including graphs in Excel, and we had to write a report.
The very first step our team took with this challenge was to familiarize and educate ourselves about stocks and mutual funds, which we spent about 2 weeks doing. The resources provided to us by Professor Shahrokhi and some that our team found included Yahoo Finance and Bar Chart. We also did some research about the past top-performing stocks and mutual funds in different industries. Conducting this research was the basis that we had to go off of managing our funds. Since our team included 3 members, we decided to divide the sectors of the economy against us. We were each responsible for finding the top 7 stocks in each industry and report them on a table that was submitted as a class assignment. After all 3 team members came up with their top stocks in their assigned industry, we came together as a team and went over the table that included all of our research. Before deciding which stocks we were going to invest in, our team chose to be conservative. With that in mind, and after thorough consideration, we decided we were going to invest in Apple and YINN. Our team chose to be conservative since none of us had prior experience or knowledge about investing in the stock market. Therefore, we were quite hesitant to take any big risks because we were so unfamiliar with what we were doing and decided to take a safer road. Once invested in our first stock, we decided that we did not want to sell it or do anything other than hold our position to get a better feel of how the process actually went. We then decided to use that strategy for all of our investments to continue on the safe road. Staying conservative and keeping our positions both helped us and harmed us. There were many times where our team was tempted to sell our stocks due to them losing, due to the losses they were incurring, but we always decided to stick to our strategy. We continued to stick to our strategy because we figured it would be too risky to sell our stocks whenever a loss occurred. Instead, we held our stocks and we were able to recover from some of our losses doing so. This method did, however, result in some harm to our stocks since we did not sell them when they reached a high value. Our team was both greedy and scared to sell certain stocks when they were at their peak because we thought they would continue to rise and we would be able to benefit more, but that did not occur. As a team, we realized we had waited a little too long in holding our positions. Throughout the Stock-Trak challenge, we continued to stay true to our strategy to remain conservative and not take any risks, even though there were times when our portfolio was harmed. We decided to stick to our strategy because we did not know what to expect if we did end up changing our method. We figured it would be best to stick it out to the end the same way we started.
Part of our assignment was to keep a trading diary in an Excel doc. Once we had decided which stocks we were going to invest in, on February 15th, we purchased 100 shares of Apple and 100 shares of Direction. At this time, we didn't know what beta meant. You can see that Direction had a beta of 3.14. Had we known what beta was at this time, Direction would not have been a stock we would have invested in. We decided these stocks would be our test to see what the market was going to do before we invested further funds. We left these stocks alone for about 4 weeks. After 4 weeks, we had an increase in our Apple stock by $5, but we had a big decrease on our Direction stock. We didn't think the stock was going to recover anytime soon, so that's when we decided to sell it. The following week, we knew we needed more skin in the game. We decided to purchase an additional 100 shares of Apple But Apple had increased since our original investment. So rather than paying the $171.91 we originally paid, we had to pay $179.64 per share. We thought that this stock was worth the increased price, given the reports that Apple was going to be rolling out their new Apple TV. We also purchased 50 shares of Disney at $104.49 and thought it would be a good investment because Disney was going to be rolling out their new Star Wars movie. So we thought that would add to our gains. We also purchased 200 shares of Intel at $52.20. After that, we decided we wanted to purchase some Google stock. So this was going to be our biggest purchase yet. We took on 44 shares of Google at $1,096.02 with a beta of 1.095. Google seemed like a solid investment with little risk. Sadly, Google would end up being our biggest loser by the end of the project. Since the project was coming to an end, we decided to purchase an IPO. So we purchased some Spotify. We had very little cash on hand and didn't want to borrow against the additional $100,000 at our disposal, so we only purchased 6 shares of Spotify at $156.50 just to see if Spotify could increase our returns. By the end of our project, we invested a total of $99,983.38 of our total $100,000. We ended it with negative 3.24 return on our investment. Our original $100,000 was now only worth $96,822.62. That is a total loss of $3,177.38. Throughout this project, we were also required to keep track of SPY and QQQ. So these stocks have a beta of 1. They were going to represent the market in its entirety for our project. So we created a graph so we can have a visual to better understand how our portfolio compared to the market. You can see we did have a moment where we dipped down much further than the rest of the market. That's when we had decided to sell Direccion. After that, we recovered and we were fairly on par with the market. By the end of the project, we ended right between QQQ and SPY. So I feel we didn't have a huge loss and that given the circumstances of the economy, we did fairly well.
Our team made a total of 14 transactions, which resulted in an overall loss in our portfolio. Our team strategy was a good strategy because it swayed us from investing in highly risky stocks that may have resulted in a bigger loss. As the semester prolonged, we learned new tools to identify risk, such as beta. Had we known about this during our first purchase, we probably wouldn't have purchased YINN with a beta more than 3. Our team was looking for short-term returns since we were checking if our stock value was increasing every week. If we had invested in riskier stocks, we would have wanted to sell as soon as we saw a decline in value. Throughout the course of this project, our team ended up with much more knowledge about the stock market than we had began with. Not only did we learn about the market, but we also learned about our weak points and the areas we struggled with the most. Although we ended the challenge with negative returns, we did accomplish sticking to our strategy of staying conservative. Since neither of our team members had previous stock market experience, we were quite afraid of taking any risks. When some of our stocks started resulting in gains, we continued to hold our positions for long periods of time, which ended up hurting us in the end. Although we ended the challenge with negative returns, our team learned a lot about the stock market. We learned that it's okay to take some risk in the market because you can never know what to expect or what outcome to expect. I believe that even if we entered this project with previous knowledge and experience, there is still no way to determine how the challenge would have ended because not even the most experienced can know how the market will be. However, if we were to do this challenge again, I believe our team would continue to be more on the conservative side, but not fully conservative. I think we would have taken more risks and try not to hold our positions for as long as we had to see if we could yield some additional gains. I think we would have also done some more research on the stocks before we purchased them to better understand what we were investing in. Our team would have purchased more shares, which we didn't do because we were afraid of the outcome. Overall, I think the challenge taught our team members a lot about the market and taking risks. We should have not be afraid of taking certain risks, even if they end up harming us. It's all about the lessons learned, and our team learned a lot.